Hey guys, this is the guide for hosting an Apache website on Lokinet. So as you can see here, I've got a website that's hosted HTTPS. It's using an Apache web server, and I have access, root access to the box that it's running on. This is going to be much trickier if you use something like cPanel and you don't have direct access to the box that it's being hosted on. You might need to contact your service provider who's hosting your website and get them to install Lokinet if that's the case. So in this case, I'm going to be showing you how to host a website that has clearnet access and Lokinet access. You can decide if you just want to set it up on Lokinet. You can do that as well. One of the reasons you might want to do this is to have a gateway where a client can anonymously access this website instead of you having to use the clearnet link. Um, but if you're more serious, you can host entirely on Lokinet as well, and then you will also get server-side anonymity as well, which means that no one knows the IP address of where that VPS or where that server actually is in the world. If they wanted to shut it down, for example. If you're putting political information up there that some state wanted to censor, putting it on Lokinet would be much harder for them to censor that because they wouldn't know where the actual box is to take it down. So I've got access to this box over here. The first thing I'm going to do is install Lokinet. So we've got this guide here that kind of runs through it, and we'll link this in the description as well. I've already run these commands, but it's always good to do a apt update and apt upgrade to make sure that you're on the latest software, and install curl if you haven't. Then we're going to go ahead and add the Lokinet repository, if I can copy and paste properly. I can. Cool. And the next thing we're going to do is make sure we're fetching the right Lokinet for our operating system, which this command does. And then we're going to update to make sure we've got the latest Lokinet version. This is going to take a little while. Cool. And then we're actually going to install Lokinet itself. And we'll do that. Cool, so that's grabbing all the files now. Okay, so that's done. And that's as far as it goes as in terms of installing Lokinet. Now we're going to do some configuration. So if we go to the hosting snaps file, we'll see that there's some instructions here on how to make your .loki address static. So by default, when you set up a Lokinet client, it will each time it restarts, it'll get a new .loki address, and because we want to host something here, we actually want the .loki address to stay the same. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use this command to open up the ini file. I think for me, because I'm under root, I'm going to get rid of this tilde. You might not need to do that. Okay, cool. I'm in the ini file now. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom here. And we've got this option here, key file equals. This is basically just going to tell the key file where to sit. So instead of storing it in memory, each time we start up, we're going to retrieve the key file from here. And it'll also tell it to store the key file here too. So we're going to copy and paste that in right at the bottom under the network section. It doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's under the network section here. And then we're going to write out. Cool. And then we're going to restart Lokinet, and this should freeze the .loki address and become static. Cool, so that's done. Now we're going to work out what our actual .loki address is. So if we jump in here and use this dig command, this is going to tell us what our .loki address is. So paste that in, press enter. We can see that this address here is actually our Loki address, so 966, and then it goes on and on. So I'm going to copy that out. I'm going to open up a text editor here and just paste that in so I can remember it for later. And then what we're going to do is this is the Lokinet configuration done, so now we're actually going to move on to the Apache configuration. So I'm in the root directory here. I just need to go into etc Apache 2, I believe, and then sites available. Yeah. So you can see here for the configuration for the .loki for this lokilocker.com site, I've got this 000 default conf, and this might be more full depending on what sites you're hosting. For me, it's just default because I just modified the existing files that were there. But what you want to do is usually open the file that contains the HTTP configuration. So this website is being served via HTTP as well, directly accessible via its IP address. So if I go into default, ooh, it's a little bit wrong, and .conf, so I open that in a text editor, I can see here that virtual host is listening on port 80, which is the port for HTTP. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to add a server name here underneath document root, but it can be really anywhere in this file from my understanding, as long as it's in that block, the virtual host block. So what I'm going to do here is server name, and then I'm going to put the .loki address beside this. So that should be all that's required. We're not going to change the HTTPS configuration here, because it's actually best to serve .loki sites over HTTP, because there's already authentication and encryption happening through Lokinet. You don't need to add an additional layer with TLS. So I'm going to write that out and click enter and then exit, and then what I'm going to do is restart or reload the configuration. So if I do, I think it's service Apache 2 reload, might have got that the wrong way around. No, I think that's good. And then I'm going to copy the address that I had before, which is this address here. And I already have a Lokinet client. So this I've SSH'd into this box over here, but I have a client on my local machine as well. So I'm going to make sure that client is started and make sure I have a path built, and then I can just enter the .loki site here, and I should be able to access it all fine. So what it's doing right now is like building a path to this client that I have running over here, and hopefully if everything works correctly, I'll get access to the .loki site, and I see it actually loading up here. Yeah, so you can see now this site has been loaded through the web server is essentially serving it to the .loki address. So that's kind of like a simple guide on how to take an existing Apache website and host it as well on a .loki address. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see more sites coming online that are existing websites and being given .loki addresses. So thanks guys for watching.